Hello everybody, welcome to Oxford Online English. My name is Teacher Rich and today we're looking at some advanced grammar. 3 specific advanced grammar points actually, which tend to come up in C1 when you're studying English. You might ask, by the way, what grammar do you study in C2? Well, the answer is you don't, because at C2 we're talking about the use of English, collocations, and complex phrases which don't necessarily fit into a grammar framework. Because, of course, grammar, I've said this many times, grammar is the rules that we put on top of language. So if you imagine that language is like a tree, then grammar is us looking at the tree and trying to explain why the branches and the leaves grow in a certain way. Language is the tree and the grammar is us trying to explain why the tree grows into a certain shape. That's what grammar is. Grammar is a useful rule set that we use to try to understand language. Native speakers can communicate without ever really understanding grammar. And that's the same with all languages around the world. You can learn about grammar as a native speaker, but it is completely unnecessary to know anything about grammar in order to effectively communicate, because we naturally use language in a way that follows grammar rules. However, grammar can be helpful for non-native speakers because it's a way of understanding something that you haven't spent your whole life learning. Whereas all native speakers spend their whole life using the language, so they don't necessarily need to understand grammar in the same way. We could contrast this by talking about people who are naturals, that is, that they grow up using the skill, and then people who learn the skill later. This actually applies to a lot of things. It also applies to technology, and it also applies to cooking and musical instruments. Do you know anyone who's a natural at cooking? Do you know anyone who's a natural at musical instruments, at music? Did they start when they were young? Anyway, let's get into this. What is the plan for today, Rich? So we're going to talk about Yes, this is it. I thought I had the wrong one then. We are going to talk about daily routines. We're going to discuss 3 advanced grammar points. We're going to practice each of them, and we're going to ask and answer questions about English. Before we begin, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. How are you doing today? If you're watching Oxford Online English, it's fantastic if you interact with our chat. You can find that on the side on PC and laptop, or if you're on a mobile device like a mobile phone or tablet, you can find it down below. Who do we have in our chat today? There's quite a few people, and people who I don't recognize. Hello, everybody. Hello to Sefren. Hello to Afina, I'm guessing because I can't read Cyrillic. Hello to Fighter Pilot Sandeep. Julia, Ashley, Daisy, Mina, IELTS, Nathaniel, Expedition, hello, Irina, hello, and Mukawai Jao Abdul, hello. Buta, BLX, howdy. I like that, howdy. That's a good introduction. Howdy. That's a very common greeting in southern United States, southern US states like Texas. So I'm going to play an audio. I'm going to play an audio of some sentences about daily routines. I want you to listen and I want you to type the sentences that you hear into the chat. So listen and type the sentences that you hear into the chat, okay? This could really do with a lovely picture here, couldn't it? Because otherwise it's a little bit plain. Can we get a nice picture to show what we're doing here? No, we're doing listening. Listen to the sentences and type what you hear into the chat. All the sentences are about daily routines. All right. Number 1. What I always do in the morning is drink a glass of water. I'll play that again. Number 1. What I always do in the morning is drink a glass of water. Did you get it? This is natural English, no nonsense. Drink a glass of water. Good. Drinking a glass of water. Good. Sir, please show subtitles. No. Or some good guesses. Let me try one more. What I always do in the morning is drink a glass of water. Ashley Chen is very close. Very close. Has anyone got it? Sepren, close. Denise, close. Mina, what I always do? Not quite. No one's quite got it. It's almost there, though. Almost. Wait, did I just show you? I think I'm showing the wrong thing here. Hang on. Right. All right, it's what I always do in the morning is drink a glass of water. I have typed the answer in the chat there. You can take a look. Compare your answer to my answer. Right, number 2. It's in the evenings that I usually catch up on reading books. It's in the evenings that I usually catch up on reading books. It's in the evenings that I usually catch up on reading books. Erdogan, you were almost correct, but not quite. Why not drinking, says Maria del Carmen. Because it's a special grammar structure, Maria. I will show you in a minute. Number 2 again. It's in the evenings that I usually catch up on reading books. Did anyone get that? Here is number 2 in the chat. It's in the evenings that I usually catch up on reading books. Okay, number 3. Number 3. All she does before going to bed is make sure that the doors are locked. All she does before going to bed is make sure that the doors are locked. Once more. All she does before going to bed is make sure that the doors are locked. Oops. All she does before going to bed is make sure that the doors are locked. Number 4. The reason he always feels refreshed is because he meditates every morning. And number 4 again. The reason he always feels refreshed is because he meditates every morning. If you wait till the end of class, Mohammed Sadar, then I have a question time and I'll answer your questions, any questions you have at the end. Number 4 again. The reason he always feels refreshed is because he meditates every morning. The reason he always feels refreshed is because he meditates every morning. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. So get ready for that. What was that about ketchup? Oh, catch up. It's in the evening that I usually catch up on reading books. It's not the same as ketchup. It's a little different. Catch up, ketchup. Remember that pronunciation is partly the sounds that come out your mouth, but also comprehension relies on context. So we know the difference between catch-up and ketchup because of the context. For example, I love to have ketchup on my chips. It's obvious because I talk about chips, so you know I'm saying ketchup because of chips. That's the importance of context. My name is Teacher Rich for Oxford Online English. Smash that like button right now. Type a nice comment down below and talk in our chat. You are watching Oxford Online English, and today we're learning about grammar. If you'd like to see more of me, you can go and see my channel, youtube.com/Professor Rich. I do 2 streams a week on Professor Rich. And today I will be correcting homework of my subscribers. Okay, let's listen to number 5. It was the sound of the birds that usually woke her up in the morning. Okay, I almost sound drunk in that one. You know, I record these often when I get out of bed in the morning, so they're a little bit like, hello everybody, my name is Teacher Rich, you ready for this? It's good though, because it's a good challenge. It was the sound of the birds that usually woke her up in the morning. Tui Ngoing says, good evening, sir. How do you write English like a native? Well, to be honest with you, Tui Nguyen, most natives are really bad at writing English and they rely heavily on Microsoft Word, spell check, Grammarly. But if you want to become a good English writer, then my suggestion to you is to become a good English reader. I think that reading is the best way to improve your writing. It's not quite like speaking and listening, because with speaking, you need to do some other stuff to improve your speaking. But I think with writing, it really goes hand in hand with reading. It was the sound of the birds that usually woke her up in the morning. Did you guys get that? It was the sound of the birds that usually woke her up in the morning. It was the sound of the birds that usually woke her up in the morning. All right. So, what's all this about? These are cleft sentences. There's a few I didn't play, so I'll play those now. In the afternoon is when he usually goes to the gym. Rarely do they ever miss their evening walk in the park. What keeps him active throughout the day is his hourly stretching routine. What he can't start his day without is a strong cup of coffee. It's my morning yoga session that's the highlight of my daily routine. Great. So there are lovely sentences, and you might say, what's all that about, Rich? Why do I need to know this nonsense? So this is the advanced grammar. This is actually called cleft sentences. Cleft sentences. So you might notice for each of these, for example, if we take number 10, where it says, it's my morning yoga session, that's the highlight of my daily routine. Another way to say this is, the highlight of my daily routine is my morning yoga session. And this is what we call normal word order. Okay, we have the subject, the verb, and the object, or the complement, and that's very normal word order. Here we have a cleft sentence where we kind of switch the order around, and we use these structures like what and it in order to change the order of the sentence. So that's a cleft sentence. We actually use cleft sentences a lot when we are speaking, because when people are speaking, they often speak naturally from what they're thinking about. So what you're saying doesn't often fit into a perfect word order. And so we use cleft sentences to change the emphasis and to say different things. You know, what really annoys me is this. Right? What really annoys me is bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Like people, it's like a stream of consciousness. It's how people think, and then the words come out their mouth. So we use cleft sentences all the time. They are not formal. They are neutral sentences that are used colloquially and in speaking a lot. So the common forms of cleft sentences are these ones. We've got it is or was plus relative pronoun plus subject plus verb. What plus subject plus verb is, are, was, were plus something. And the something plus relative pronoun plus verb is something. So we can look through these like, it's my morning coffee that I really like. What I really like is my morning coffee. The thing I really like... No. Wait, what's this one? The thing... What is this one? Where is it? Oh, the reason... Is that what it is? The reason why he always feels refreshed is because... No. Yes. Is that it? The motivation... Why the place where it's because I've missed the subject. That's what's confusing me. Okay, that's better. The place where I go is my college. The drink that I like is coffee. Got it. The drink that I like is coffee. Okay, so these are the common forms of cleft sentences. Now I'd like you to practice making cleft sentences. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see here we have normal word order. So I want you to change that into a cleft sentence. And there are multiple answers for these. Desideas de business rentable says hello every day. Gaming Channel says, in the afternoon, I have to go to the gym. Okay. W says, what's the right order of learning parts of grammar? There is no right order, W. In fact, I think you should focus on learning lexis instead of grammar. Learn how to learn lexis. Lexis means phrases and vocabulary. The thing I hate about learning English is grammar. Nice. Yeah, that's true, Daisy, says Mina. Great. English grammar's easy, though. What I like about my country, Taiwan, is that everything is affordable and convenient. Nice. It's my first cup of coffee. That's my favorite part of the day. That's pretty good. What I like is teacher's class. Thank you. A big breakfast is what I'm not keen on. Jennifer Vargas says, English grammar is much easier than my native language. What's your native language, Jennifer? My first cup of tea is my favourite part of the day. The thing that gets me out of bed is my alarm. A big breakfast is something I'm not so keen on. Julia, a big breakfast is something I'm not so keen on. Or a big breakfast is what I'm not so keen on. Or what I'm not so keen on is a big breakfast. Spanish. Spanish. Spanish grammar, super fácil. Se puede aprender fácilmente. No, I agree. I think Spanish grammar is more complicated than English, but I think German grammar is more complicated than Spanish. The only problem with Spanish is the 52 conjugations of the verb. Hablo, hablas, hablan, hablaron, habló, hablé, hablaré, hablarás, hablaráis, habláis, hablastáis. Yes. The favourite part of my body is my green eyes. Oh, that's lovely, Demos. Green eyes. Everybody loves green eyes. All right, well done, everybody. So let's move on. I'm going to show you some more sentences about daily routines. I want you to type the missing words. Urdu grammar is more difficult than English. Probably. That's why everyone learns English, because English grammar is easy. Hablamos. Que no hablemos. Not everybody has green eyes. Everybody has green eyes. Where, Demos? I don't know anyone with green eyes. I saw this person in Luxembourg once with like piercing green eyes, just amazing green eyes. It's like lightning. Nice. Jamie Davidson. Jamie Davidson? Where are you from, Jamie? How does someone with a name like Jamie Davidson join an English learning stream? You sound like an English teacher, Jamie. Oh, you're from Chicago. Nice. All right, well, I'm perfectly happy to teach the Americans how to use grammar. I'm joking. Nice to see you, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an American in the chat. W says, sir, please make a video on all the possible types of sentence patterns. It makes English easy to learn scientifically. That's impossible, W. Actually, it's not impossible. But it would be very extensive, and I think you would find it not so useful. I'm checking my pedagogy. That's great, Jamie. Obviously, the pedagogy of online teaching streams is not really the same as a pedagogy in a classroom. It's a different thing, isn't it? Really, there's an aspect of edutainment going on with streams, and you have to do that. If you're a language teacher, Jamie, please do check out ELT Under the Covers. I do a podcast with a teacher called Neil, and we talk about language teaching, education in general, and we interview different people from the industry. We've interviewed some of the big names, you might say, including popular people like English with Lucy, and including academics, like the inventor of Lernen durch Lernen, the German method where the students teach each other in order to learn. It's learn by teaching. ELT Under the Covers. Mohammed, we will finish in about 20 minutes. Okay, let me put you out of your misery. Let's see some answers here. Boom. So here's our answers. Does anyone know what these structures are? What's the name of this grammar? Please make a video on compound sentences. Compound sentences, not so complicated. Yeah, that's right, Anawat. So we have inversion. Inversion is just the name we give when we change the normal auxiliary and subject word order. So you can see here, I'm highlighting, we have this question word order with the auxiliary and the subject. It's like a questioned word order. We call that inversion. And this inversion that's happening here happens after these negative adverbials. What's an adverbial? An adverbial is basically just something that acts as an adverb. It can be one word, an adverb, or it can be an adverb phrase, and it acts as an adverbial. So we have seldom, that's an adverbial. Actually, it's just an adverb. Never, which is an adverb and adverbial. Then we've got at no time, which contains no adverb, but acts as an adverbial. So we've got at no time, negative adverbial, and then inversion. This grammar is called negative adverbials with inversion. Negative adverbials with inversion. So when do we use this? Well, we almost never use this when speaking. We almost never use this when speaking. Seldom do we use this when speaking. We might use it to be very poetic or over the top or informal writing. So if I want to be really over the top, if I want to be really over the top, never have I seen such a beautiful woman. Okay, something like that. Where if we want to be over the top or informal writing. But it's kind of poetic. Like, I don't think I would use negative adverbials with inversion in a letter of complaint, but I might use it in a wedding invitation. Under no circumstances. No, maybe not. They're not very common, put it that way. And one of the traps that advanced learners of English fall into is that they learn this and then overuse it. You definitely don't want to overuse them. My recommendation would be learn the grammar for this and then look for them in the real world. And that will give you a good context from which to build your own active vocabulary of using them. So the form is negative adverbial plus auxiliary or modal plus subject plus verb. Let's have some practice. So you can see here I have 6 sentences. These are normal word order sentences. And I'd like you to practice forming the negative adverbials with inversion. So Mohammed Sardar, on Oxford Online English, we have streams twice a week. I stream on Saturdays at 1 p.m. UK time. And on youtube.com/aprofessorreach, youtube.com/aprofessorreach, youtube.com/professorreach, which I've posted in the chat. There I stream on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. and Saturdays at 6 p.m. We also have a language learning community, which you should join on Discord. And we have homework tasks and we do correction. Never do I have a coffee right after getting up. Is that what you said? It's not bad. I think there's a better one, though. Is there a better one? No, you're right. That's it. There is no better one. Well done, Rich. Never do I have a coffee right after getting up. Please repeat the time. Saturday, 1 p.m. on OOE. And then It's at 2 p.m. and WED 3 p.m. on my channel. That's UK time. Also on Oxford Online English, you have Carrie. I need to email Carrie, actually. Totally forgot about that. We were supposed to do something together. Julia, that's not quite right. Can you check your word order? Anouette says, under no circumstances do I have sugar in my coffee. Lovely. Oh, I've got some Vietnamese coffee. Thank you to my fiance. Chop bung, chop bung, chop bung, chop bung. Chop bung ai độc lập. Chop bung ai độc lập. Chop bung nằm hồi. Chop bung, chop bung. Cảm ơn vợ, cảm ơn vợ. Cảm ơn vợ. Cảm ơn vợ. Trong cái cúp, trong cái cúp. Key cup. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's it, Daisy. It's that coffee. That's the coffee. It's that coffee. Oh, it's good coffee, I have to say. It's very good coffee. Yeah, Jamie, that was some Vietnamese. Chop bún à môi. Chop bún ai độc lập. My fiance is Vietnamese. The first step for learning Vietnamese is getting that that sound, because it's really far back, right at the back. Really difficult for English speakers. It's kind of like the end of like getting, but it's further back than getting. Go, right at the back. Oh, you're a linguist then, Jamie. That's a linguist perspective. Language diversity. Linguists love language diversity. At least that's the name. That's the topic of the day, isn't it? Language diversity. Language standardization is out, and language diversity is in with the academics. That's the current situation. All right. Did I show you the answers for this? I didn't show you the answers. Before we move on, let's have some answers. So I'm typing the answers now in the chat. Oops, that's number 5, sorry. And that's not number 6, that's number 4. Come on, Rich. You know, I got out of bed on the wrong side this morning. Right. Answers are in the chat. Moving on. We've got a little bit more here. So, again, some sentences that relate to daily routines. Now I want you to reorder the words. Put the words in the correct order. and we'll do our third grammar point of the day. Yes, Pallavi, you are correct. We are doing grammar today. Zhang Tu said, please, could you please make a video for the adjective order? Adjective order. I don't think you should learn the rules for adjective order. I don't think you should learn the rules for adjective order. I think you should learn some collocations and use the collocations. It's a big red ball. Big red ball. Right, got it. Big red. Don't learn the rules for adjective word order. Collocations just means you learn like a phrase together, right? Big red ball. Big red ball is a collocation because of children's books. But any words that go together commonly are a collocation. Has anyone got these? Let's have a look. Julia says, if I were you, I'd get up earlier. That's correct. Julia says, it's about time you went to work. That's correct. Well done, Daisy. Also correct. I'd rather make so much noise in the morning you didn't. No, Julia, not quite right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to give you an answer like that, Chang Tu. Like, I think that the effort that you'd need to learn that, the effort you'd need to learn adjective word order would be substantial. And then more of a problem is when you apply that rule, I'm pretty sure that will damage your fluency too much. For the value that you get, I think it will damage your fluency. That's why I recommend you just let go with the adjective word order. All right, everybody, here's the answers. Answers are on the board. So, what's this grammar point? This is our final grammar point of the day. What is it? What's this grammar point? What do you think? And no, Ashley, my wife is not a language teacher. Sir, you didn't answer me. What did you ask? Oh, what should I do to improve my English? I don't know if we'll have time because I need to stream on my other channel. Sorry, Mohammed. Jump onto Professor Rich and I'll talk to you there about it. Subjunctive. Yes. Don't know if I would call it subjunctive, actually. I know people do, but I don't particularly like that name. Because I think subjunctive for me is Latin grammar, Romance languages. I'm not convinced that English has a subjunctive. So we call this the unreal past. When do we use them? We use the unreal past all the time. We use it all the time. This is definitely a common one. It's more common than negative adverbials for sure. And there's a variety of forms for the unreal past. Here's some common ones. We've got if only, I wish, I'd rather, and it's about time. These are the common ones. There are some others. And we use the past form, but obviously we're not talking about the past. We're talking about an unreal present. So let's practice making some unreal past sentences. We've got 4 here. Could you make an unreal past sentence out of each of these? Excuse me. Nuren Suleiman says, hello, teacher. Hello, Nuren. Oh, I forgot also, can I welcome Polium Zodop Nyat Bai to the membership? Xin chào, xin chào. Xin chào, xin chào. Thank you, Pallavi. If only the sun came out. Yeah, pretty good. I like if only the sun came out. That's a good one, Zoya. Thank you. If the sun came out, I'd be exhilarated. Nice. Exhilarated. It does feel exhilarating when the sun comes out, doesn't it? That's a good way to describe it. That's exactly what it is. You know, when the clouds are there and then suddenly the sun comes out and you're just like, oh, the sun. And you just feel that like buzz of energy. And you're like, yes. And then you turn into a giant robot and you fight the evil. Anyway, where were we? Number 2. I'd rather you added. I think is a good one. Number 3, it's time for you to clean your room. It's about time you cleaned your room. And number 4, we don't have any bread, so I won't make any toast. If we had some bread, I'd make some toast. Yours is good as well, Manuel. If only we had bread, I could make some toast. Great. All right. Thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. My name has been Teacher Rich for Oxford Online English. Smash that like button right now. Have you smashed that like button? If you haven't smashed that like button, you smash that like button right now. Doing. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now. Enjoy your day and have a lovely, lovely week.